So good morning, everyone. My name is Tony Williams, and I'm with Smart Energy Water, or SEW. And I just want to be the first to welcome you all to today's webinar. Perhaps it's in the evening or afternoon, wherever you may be. But regardless, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. Today, we're going to talk to you about how utilities are supercharging their field force with intelligent workforce experience platforms. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how does that work and what does that look like. And we're going to do so leveraging one of our current clients, which is Alabama Power. And Alabama Power is one of our customers here in North America. And we have with us today from Alabama Power, one and only Mr. Greg Cook. And let me just share a little bit about who Mr. Greg Cook is. Greg is the Senior Distribution Engineer in Power Delivery Technology at Alabama Power, which is a subsidiary of Southern Company, which is one of the largest producers of electricity in the United States. And they currently serve more than 9 million gas and electric customers across a 120,000 square mile service territory. Greg, to that end, is a very experienced and seasoned utility professional. He has more than 15 years of practical work experience in distribution operations, power delivery, and nuclear generation. And at Alabama Power, Greg is absolutely the thought leader regarding field mobility, and he's helping Alabama Power develop and implement all of their innovative digital strategies towards streamlining their back office operations and also empowering their field workforce to work safely and efficiently. So Greg's got all of that kind of on his portfolio, on his plate, and is doing an amazing job there at Alabama Power to help them move in this direction. Personally, Greg is a graduate of the University of Alabama, and he's married to his wife, Anna, and between the two of them, they have two sons, Sam and Wyatt. So Greg, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate your presence.
Thank you, Tony. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Greg, if you're able to snap your camera on, that'd be awesome. And while Greg is doing that, let me just share a little bit about me and who I am. So as I mentioned, again, I'm Tony Williams. I'm with Smart Energy Water. I currently serve as our Vice President of Mobile Workforce. And I come to our company after having spent over 27 years in the electric utility space. I spent 23 years at Southern California Edison in Southern California in their transmission and distribution organization, managing field operations, managing technical training, things of that nature. And I also spent nearly 5 years at Pacific Gas and Electric, which is in Northern California, as an executive, also in their electric operations organization, helping to manage field operations there. And while I was also at Pacific Gas and Electric, I once was a customer of Smart Energy Water. So I have practical firsthand experience actually deploying our Smart Mobile Workforce platform in a utility setting. I had a great deal of success with it while at Pacific Gas and Electric, such that I figured the best way for me to really make an impact to the industry was to come be a part of a company like Smart Energy Water and really help other utilities of all different types, not just energy or power utilities, but also gas and water utilities, leverage the value of the Smart Mobile Workforce platform. So it's a pleasure to be part of our company. It's a pleasure to be here with you today to talk to you a little bit about how we're leveraging SMW to make a difference in the industry. So Greg and I are looking forward to talking with you today. I'm going to advance us through a handful of slides to kind of set up the conversation that I'd like to have with Greg. And he and I are just going to tackle a couple of questions at the end of this presentation and give you a sense for how SMW is actually making a difference in the real world. But first, just a little bit about who we are, Smart Energy Water as a company. We're headquartered in Southern California, in Irvine, California, and we have approximately 1,100 so employees around the globe. We're a global company. We're currently transacting business in more than 37 different countries around the world. And our platforms, which I'll speak to you just a little more about here shortly, we're transacting over 180 billion different transactions using our three different platforms. And over a billion people are actively using our platform, creating those transactions. And a billion is by no accident. It is absolutely our mission as a company to engage and empower billions of people to save energy and water through our digital platforms. So it is our goal to get our platform in the hands of as many people as possible. And as of today, our platform is in the hands of approximately 1/8 of the world's population. So we still got a ways to go to meet our goal, but we're well on our way to doing so. We're blessed and to have been recognized by industry experts. We've received over 112 different awards, which really signify less about us and more about the fact that our platforms and our technology is actually adding value for our customers. So really those awards are really more of a testament and to our customers and the work that they're doing using our technology and impacting their customers. Okay. And I apologize, there's just a bit of a delay or lag with the actual slides. But we have at SCW three different platforms that are our efforts to really connect the digital customer experience, workforce experience, and what we call the intelligent experience. All three different things that converge to create a 360-degree capacity for the utility. So our workforce experience, smart mobile workforce. We're going to talk to you about that today, and Greg's going to give you a firsthand glimpse into how that's working in the real world. But this is our digital workforce engagement platform, which gives the utility an opportunity to engage with its workforce, the ability to create a connected workforce through the work that has to be done, through the different capacity of work, such as asset management, inventory management, things of that nature, inspections, things that are done every day by workers, providing them with an automated, innovative platform to get that work done and having real-time connectivity to the utility and all of its decision makers in real time. We also provide our smart customer mobile platform, which is our customer experience platform, which again, think now the utility has an opportunity to engage with its customers. So a mobile application in the hands of the customers that give customers the opportunity to engage directly and in real time with the utility on things like checking their bills, requesting services, making payments, receiving notifications, having a digital self-service platform where, again, they can request services and engage with the utility, all right from a digital and innovative mobile platform in the hands of the customers. And then think of the intelligent experience. This is our analytics platform that underlies both the smart mobile workforce and the smart customer mobile platform, providing real-time analytics about the different types of data that support both workforce operations and also customer engagement. Analyzing all of that information, providing customers with real-time information about things such as usage patterns, insights into how they're using energy or conserving energy, providing them with dashboards and reports that allow them to have a deeper glimpse into how they're utilizing the utilities, services, and assets. Same thing with the workforce, the ability to have all the information that comes from inspections and real-time jobs that are being performed, having all that data analyzed and providing predictive information to decision makers to allow them to make better judgments about how to manage the business. Our intelligent experience platform, Smart IQ, is the engine behind all of that. So together, Smart Mobile Workforce, Smart Customer Mobile, and Smart IQ provide utilities with a 360-degree view of all of the work that supports their ability to be successful in support of its customers. So I think we got just a slight delay here. Let me back up a slide or two. Okay. So what are we seeing, in the marketplace that really signals the need for innovative workforce engagement platforms such as Smart Mobile Workforce? One, what we're seeing is that legacy operating models are becoming obsolete. So the way utilities have transacted business before and the way they've gathered information and managed information, those models now are becoming obsolete. The days of one directional transactional relationships are gone. And that's what utilities have typically been characterized by: one direction information, where they would send information to the customer or the customer would send information to them, but not bi-directional in real time. And what we've learned is that 75% of customers expect companies to use more innovative technologies these days. Technology is prevalent, the internet is prevalent, and customers and employees within utilities have the expectation now that the utility is going to be using technology that either makes their work easier to perform, or in the case of customers, the ability to receive information, more detailed information in real time about their particular service. Also, 75% of customers, we're finding, expect a very consistent omni-channel experience wherever they engage with the utility. Omni-channel meaning, hey, I want different ways to communicate with the utility. Maybe I want to communicate via email. Maybe I want to communicate via text messaging. Maybe I want to communicate via, push messaging within a native app. Just different methods. Maybe I want a phone call. Different ways of reaching the customer, because the customer has varied technology in their hands. And so the ability to leverage any of those is really important to them. And the utility must get on board with creating those kinds of opportunities to engage with them. And then as we're looking into the Australian and New Zealand marketplace, we're learning a few things that are quite frankly consistent around the world. Customers in Australia, we're finding, expect a 10-minute or less response time for resolution. Okay, and so whenever an inquiry is given, to the utility needs to respond within 10 minutes and then solve the problem within the next 12 hours. That's very consistent for what we see around the world. And also businesses in Australia, we are learning, when they exceed customer experience expectations, we're finding that the workforce for those utilities where that customer engagement is being created are also more engaged. So that suggests there's a correlation between engaged employees and higher customer experience. So these are the kinds of things that are characterizing the workplace and are driving the need for unique and innovative technologies such as Smart Mobile Workforce. Now, Smart Mobile Workforce, as we'll talk a little bit more about it, is really the #1 platform in the marketplace today that's transforming the way field work is being conducted. How are we doing that? We're doing that through very simple and intuitive platform experiences that span across any hardware. So we're device agnostic. So it doesn't matter whether you're using mobile devices, web devices, tablet devices, doesn't matter if it's Android, Windows, or iOS. Smart Mobile Workforce provides a very simple and intuitive platform for each one of those form factors. The use of intelligent scheduling and dispatching, complete with artificial intelligence and machine learning, is critical. The ability to get jobs scheduled in real time to the right person with the right skills at the right time is absolutely critical to the success of a utility being able to meet its customers' demands. The ability to optimize resource sharing and collaboration is critically important. The ability for technology to be in place that allow field crews to work together with each other, even though they might not be in proximity with one another, to share information, to help one another overcome problems, which improve not just operational efficiency, but it also improves safety. When I can lean on Greg, for instance, to ask him a question while I'm working about a particular situation, and he can share information with me through our digital platforms that help me work safely and efficiently. Obviously, the ability to work in offline mode. There are those scenarios. As much as we're depending on the internet and we appreciate the use of the internet, we realize there are those scenarios where there's just not the internet connection. And when that happens, you've got to be able to continue to work in offline mode. And so Smart Mobile Workforce provides that ability to work in offline mode, work orders, assets, maps, drawings, as-built, critical documentation, All of that is still available on the digital device for the field worker when they're out in the field, even in the absence of an internet connection. So no internet connection, no problem. SMW still gives you the ability to work effectively. The ability to have predictive insights in terms of managing assets and inventory and equipment, critically important for utilities now as they have to maximize the useful life of assets. So the ability to be able to capture information about those assets, look at current usage patterns associated with those assets, and use that data to predict failure rates and failure periods. So that way equipment can be replaced or maintained before it's run to failure. That's been the traditional mode in the utility, is run to failure. But failure usually results in an outage or something maybe more catastrophic that we've got to begin to avoid because customers don't like outages. And so to the degree we can have predictive analytics that tell us when an asset's going to fail, and then we can take proactive actions to replace or manage those assets before they fail, is a huge win for the utility. SMW provides you with that ability to gather all that information, and then we make those predictive judgments and present them to decision makers. The ability to use virtual site inspections using drone technology. That's a huge thing, particularly in terms of, disaster recovery periods. So after an event of some, catastrophe have come through, the ability to gather information quickly to alert the utility as to where its most distressful, areas of the power grid are, so that it can mobilize resources to those areas quickly and be able to get the system restored in a quick manner, complete with providing information to local authorities that assist in the recovery, is a critical capability that mobile platforms must now begin to provide for. And SMW provides capability around doing digital inspections, leveraging drone technology, complete with capturing photographs and pictures, and providing that information to decision makers so that they can make better proactive decisions about how to restore the grid after a catastrophe. The ability to improve the use of data through digital twins, wearables, smart devices, IoT sensors, etc. The Internet of Things is here. And there are a multitude of devices now that are capturing data and providing that data into a single source of truth system. Well, SMW has the capacity to be that single source of truth system where all of this information that's coming from the different IoT devices are converging to help paint a picture for decision makers about how best to deploy work, how best to manage crews in and out of jobs, how best to make decisions about what work gets done, when, and how. So the ability to use all of the available data in one place to create better decision making is a huge thing transforming field work today. And then just the final few, powerful analytics. We talked about that, the ability to have analytics to inform decision making. Utilities, unfortunately, we're notorious for having a lot of data, but not a lot of information. And so the ability to take that data, convert it into information using machine learning and artificial intelligence to create continual improvement opportunities and improve the quality of the decisions that get made in support of the utility and its operations is critical. And lastly, what's very important is the ability for utilities to have platforms, solutions that are scalable, that are modular in nature, so that way the systems grow as the utilities grow. Okay, and also from a total cost of ownership, it's important to have modular systems, so that way utilities are only paying for the functionality that they need in any one given time. Modular solutions that they can grow into as they need to, again, improves their total cost of ownership and ultimately their return on investment. So one of the things that we want to focus on as we think about mobile platforms, when we think about supercharging the workforce with technology, is how do we move along this continuum from being reactive in the work that we do to being predictive and proactive in the work that we do. What we all recognize as utility professionals is that the level one, the need to be reactive. In most cases, in most utilities, we are reactive. We fix things once they break. Once we're alerted to something breaking, or once we're alerted to a problem, we jump into action and we go fix that. But at that particular level, something broken has an adverse effect on a customer. And so in that mode, we're responding, we're reacting, but the customer has already been affected. So we want to move further to the right where we can get into maybe more of a level 2, where we're planning scheduled maintenance with the intent on keeping equipment, keeping the work done well, so that way we can avoid outages, we can avoid failures that might affect a customer. So we plan maintenance, we schedule that maintenance, but we all know we don't always get to all of that maintenance. We don't always get to those schedules. We aren't always able to keep to those schedules. So in that particular case, even though we're trying to be a little bit more proactive, there's still the scenarios where equipment may fail. There still may be outages or impacts to the customer, which may affect customer experience. So we want to move again further to the right and try to be a bit more proactive, where we can detect issues and eliminate them before they have customer impacts. Okay, so this is allowing us to be more proactive, have more engagement with the customer. Maybe the customer is alerting us at the utility to certain symptoms that we can then analyze and determine to be a leading cause of an impending failure, and we can go take action before the failure. This is where we would like to be. We'd like to get into this particular place, moving from level 1 to level 2 into level 3. And then ultimately, we want to be in level 4, where we're predictive, where we're able to predict issues through forecasting, analytics, artificial intelligence, and therefore we can prevent failures. We can prevent system events that impact our customers in a negative way, because we've got the data informing us before events actually happen. And we can take the proper action as decision makers to actually go and remediate problems before they have an impact on the client. So that's what we want to move to. This is where we're going. This is what our platforms, this is what our technology is an attempt to deliver, moving us from a more reactive state to a more predictive state, where we're leveraging machine learning and artificial intelligence to its fullest. Okay. We're also wanting to do a better job of connecting experiences, both customer experiences and workforce experiences. So one of the things that is characteristic of the utility space is that in utilities, the customer experience and the workforce experience are often managed differently, treated differently, treated in different areas. Oftentimes in utilities, there's a customer experience department, there's a workforce experience department, which we call operations oftentimes. And it's been my experience that all work being done by field crews is really being done in support of the customer, sometimes very directly, sometimes indirectly. But at the end of the day, workforce experiences are really around making sure that when the customer hits the switch to get electricity and turn the lights on, the lights come on, or when they turn the water nozzle to get water flows safely and freely, etc. So it's important to connect the experience from both the work management side and the customer side together. So from a customer service standpoint, the ability to create an opportunity where customers can plan and schedule appointments for work. They can create service requests indicating a need for work and have that planned in conjunction with the workforce so that the right technician is alerted and then dispatched out. From an operations standpoint, how do these two converge together? Well, data-driven decision-making, as we've already kind of talked about. So the ability to have information about a customer, about their needs, about the equipment that they have their requests come in and be analyzed through artificial intelligence and machine learning to inform operators and field technicians where to go and how to support the customers. From a field worker standpoint, so again, we want to make sure also that field workers have a unique and quality experience performing their work. And so having digital work order packages complete with all of the information about a customer premise or about a customer situation or the history at a customer's location, informing them on how to work effectively and safely at that particular customer location, having optimal driving routes to and from jobs, which allows them to get in and out of jobs faster and also maximize assets, so wear and tear on vehicles, fuel, mileage, things of that nature. Data-driven engagement that creates more capability in those regards. Other than ultimately, again, for the customer, the ability to have fewer interruptions because the utility through all of the data that's being gathered in the digital platform is able to be predictive about where to engage and therefore prevent outages, but then also providing customers with omni-channel communication outlets. So again, text messaging, email, push notification, phone calls, things of that nature to be able to give the customer information in real time using the channel that best and most accurately connects with them. So the connected experience for the utility, who's at the core of all of this, providing connectivity to its customers, to its workforce, from its workforce to its customer, is critically important to make sure that the utility is delivering value in a way never seen before. So that's the goal of the SMW platform, is to create this kind of capability. So with that said, now, what is the Smart Mobile Workforce platform? It is Smart Mobile Workforce, or SMW, the industry's #1 digital workforce experience platform in the marketplace, hands down. And we choose the words workforce experience very carefully, because this really is about how do we make sure that field workers have technology in their hands that engages them in such a way that they want to perform the work that is required of them using the technology that has been given to them. Many of you probably are very aware, you've probably been in projects where you can give folks technology, field workers technology. However, if they don't like it, they won't use it. And if they don't use it, your investment in your program is going to be less than optimal. And so you've got to give them a platform that's easy to use, simple, intuitive, and creates the opportunity for them to actually get their work done. That's exactly what Smart Mobile Workforce is. Smart Mobile Workforce also is a modular platform. So each one of the icons that you see there on our screen underneath where it says product functions, each one of those icons represents different capability within the platform. The platform, SMW as a platform, is designed to be a comprehensive end-to-end platform and complete with all of the different capabilities. So we've got a work order module, obviously creating and managing work orders. We've got the ability to perform scheduling and dispatch. We are a full capable scheduling and dispatch engine in our platform that fully dispatches work orders and jobs to workers in real time. We use full automated scheduling, also manual scheduling where necessary, but a full complete capability in that respect. SMW gives you the ability to manage assets right within the platform, to create and manage service requests within the platform. We've got a fleet tracking module, so the ability to manage your fleet and the capacity associated with your fleet within the platform. Our mobile library module is our digital data locker. So think of the ability to digitize all of your current paper-based documentation. So that could be training material, that could be reference documents, that could be prints, drawings, diagrams. The ability to digitize all of that, bring that into a digital platform, complete with the ability to annotate and create notes on top of it that are unique to the individual logged in user, is critically important. And that gives you the ability to eliminate all of the printed documentation that currently exists, that currently gets outdated the moment something changes, and it helps you to better manage who has the latest version, because everything's digital, coming from one master document and then published out to all of the different users. We've got tools inside the platform to manage expenses. So we've got to create expense reports that can be done automatically, the ability to create timesheets in an automatic fashion, all part of the platform. Our My Performance module gives you the ability to see how much work is being done at any given time, allowing field workers to be more accountable for the work that they're doing, because they have an opportunity to have a scorecard, a digital scorecard or dashboard available to them at any time, letting them know how much work is being done, how much work is falling behind, what's coming up next, etc. Our Smart Forms module gives you the ability to digitize your data collection methods. So for all of your inspections that are being done where field workers are collecting information, generally writing that information down, the ability to create forms in real time that allow you to capture that data, complete with photographs, geolocating, signatures, things of that nature, is a real win. And you digitize all of that data collection and send it directly into source systems. So you eliminate all of the back office manual labor that is associated with manual data entry. So a really efficient capability within our platform. Our collaboration module is our attempt to bring in social media concepts into the platform. So think collaboration, think group chat. So as field workers are out in the field, they have the ability to engage in video chats and group chats to exchange information about what the work that's being done. So if I'm ever in a scenario where I'm working on a piece of apparatus or a piece of equipment that I've never worked on before, but perhaps Greg has, I can take a picture of that piece of equipment, send it to Greg, ask him my question, and then have him respond digitally via the platform in real time. Prevents me from having to stop my job, go back to my truck, or go radio someone to get some information, then having to come back to the job. I probably now need to retail board from a safety standpoint, et cetera, and all that takes time. So the ability for me to use our collaboration module to get information in real time is a key benefit. And also, by capturing that kind of information, we're capturing institutional knowledge as well. So as Greg and I exchange information using this collaboration tool, we're also documenting knowledge about how to get work done. And that is information that can go into training programs, onboarding programs, et cetera. So really key module there is our collaboration module. We've got a damage assessment module. I spoke to that a little bit earlier. The ability to gather information in real time after catastrophe has hit the system, providing decision makers with heat maps, essentially as to where the most significant damage is. And so decisions can be made in real time about where to best mobilize resources to restore the system. We've got an outage management module that ties into an outage management system of any type and gather all of the outages, present those outages to field workers, and field workers can work outages directly from their mobile device. They can change the status of outages. They can update cause codes to outages. They can update estimated times of restoration associated with outages directly from their mobile app, and they can actually close out outages once they've worked them and completed them. We've got a safety observation module, so the ability to incorporate a utilities safety program into the digital platform, which is critically important because safety at utility is the #1 goal. And so the ability to manage safety around all of the work that's being done is critically important. And the SMW platform provides you the ability to do that, complete with predictive information about where your next strain, sprain, or accident is going to occur. So that way you can be proactive about preventing it. So if we all knew where the next strain or accident was going to occur, we would take the right actions to prevent it. SMW gives you the ability to do that. And just to kind of round out our modules, we've got an inventory management module that allows you to manage your reservation, your check-in, check-out process in terms of getting equipment from the warehouse to job sites and have all of that accounted for as part of the work order. And when that work order is completed, all of the materials that have been pulled out of inventory are tabulated with the inventory. And then lastly, our predictive maintenance module, which is what allows you to manage all of your planned maintenance activities all in one shop. So SMW is a comprehensive end-to-end solution that's got all of this capability packed into one application. You don't need to have a separate scheduling and dispatch system and a separate work order system and a separate inventory management system and a separate asset management system. All of that capability is tied directly into SMW, and then SMW talks to source systems to bring all of the relevant data into our platform and provides you with a one-stop shop to get all of your work done. As I mentioned, lastly, too, SMW works in offline mode, and so there's no problem there. And we're pre-integrated with a number of the largest back-end systems such as SAP, Oracle, IBM, et cetera. Just a little bit more about SMW here. Here you see some screenshots. So we're a native mobile app. So again, we work well on iOS devices, Android devices, and also Windows devices. The work order map view, so you can the ability to view your work orders on a map and access all of your work from a map, critically important. Same thing with assets, the ability to see all of your assets, both vertical assets, linear assets, directly from a map view, but then also from list views as well. The ability to search and find the appropriate assets right from the mobile device in real time, critically important. Also, the ability to be able to manage service requests. So the ability to create service requests, manage existing service requests, pending service requests, close out service requests, right from a mobile application is a key part to any efficient workforce management workflow. Also with work orders, the ability to create optimized routes. So SMW provides you with the ability to gather different work orders, capture them into a route, and be presented with turn-by-turn drive directions that takes into account traffic, distance between jobs, et cetera. So that way you've got a very optimized day that you can plan right from the mobile app. And then as work is completed, the ability to have additional work drip fed into your route to fill up your entire workday, all part of the platform. And then finally, smart forms that we use, giving you the ability to create digital data collection methods. So for your inspections, for tailboards, things that you have to do on a regular basis, you want to capture that information, being able to access those digitally right from your mobile application, capture information, including pictures, signatures, et cetera, provide that information into the application using key technology such as voice dictation. So you don't have to type, you can use your voice to actually capture data into the smart forms. Huge part of our ability to provide value. And then lastly, our mobile library module, which basically, as I mentioned again, digitizing all of your documents and making them available in real time to field crews when they need it most, right on the job. Okay. I'm going to wrap up here and get into our discussion with Greg here, but just a few more slides. So our tech and route capability really is what is our effort to tie, our Uber-like effort to tie the customer experience to the field work experience back to the customer. So in a real simple vein, just think of the customer having the opportunity via a mobile application, our Smart Customer mobile platform, to request services from the utility, have those service requests come into the utility, get converted into work orders automatically using artificial intelligence based on the type of request, the type of work that needs to be done, understanding and identifying the proper field worker to perform that work, automatically assigning that work to the proper technician, notifying that technician, having that technician accept the job, begin their route to the customer's residence. The customer is getting notifications each step of the way, letting them know that their request has been received, that it has been assigned to a field worker. The field worker is now in commute, complete with a picture of that field worker, letting them know who's en route to their job so they can verify that once that person gets there. Complete also with seeing a map view of the route, the itinerary, very Uber-like, that the technician is taking to get to their location. And then as work is being completed on the customer's behalf, all of that information being communicated back to the customer in real time. So that way they're kept abreast of the work that's being happening on their behalf. So our tech and route capability utilizing our platforms is huge value that we deliver to our customers. In the interest of time here, I'm gonna, kind of use this as maybe our last slide and wrap up and kind of get into our conversation with Greg. But what I wanted to focus on here is that really our Smart Mobile Workforce platform is all about the day in the life of a field worker. And it's really focused on how work from the far left there is dispatched out to the field worker in a very efficient manner using our scheduling and dispatch capability, using artificial intelligence and machine learning to push information out to field workers. Field workers receive that information in the form of a digital work order package that they can view directly on their mobile device. They have the opportunity to assess all of the details associated with that particular job. They can create a route to and from those jobs right from the mobile application. They can view all of the customer information associated with that job to verify that they're doing the right work at the right time. They have the ability to collaborate with other logged in field workers, again, using our collaboration module. They have the ability to check the assets that are associated with the job, pull more materials in and out of inventory right from the mobile app, access the documentation that supports the work that they're doing, such as, reference materials or compliance documents or drawings or as-built, et cetera. Modify the work order as may be needed. And then close out the work order right from the mobile application, and then send that completed work to the back office where it can be verified by the appropriate personnel. So a kind of a one-stop shop for the field worker to have a very intuitive capability to be able to receive their work, complete their work, and then submit their work back to the back office to the single source of truth systems where all of that information can then be analyzed by the proper personnel. So that's what SMW is in a nutshell, providing all of that capability in real time. Okay. The last thought here is that SMW, while we're focused on the energy and water sector, we also have the capacity to support all businesses. And so we have our smart mobile workforce platform, not just in the utility space, but also supporting municipalities. We've got our platform supporting universities, state and local agencies, counties and smart cities, public sector units, and also nonprofit organizations as well, are all benefiting from the real-time artificial intelligence, machine learning, online, offline capability, fully configurable capacity of the smart mobile workforce platform. So it's a very modular, wide-ranging system to support your needs from A to Z. So now what I want to do is transition a little bit into a conversation with Greg Cook and talk and have him share with you some of his experiences using SMW at Alabama Power. And so there's 5 questions that I want to ask Greg and have him speak to. So Greg, if you don't mind sharing, what was the business problem your company was facing when you decided to go look for a platform such as SMW?
So Alabama, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So first of all, Alabama Power has a pretty wide geographic region that we cover. So our divisions, while we operate under the Alabama Power umbrella, we still operate in almost an autonomous type of methodology. Same results are needed, but they had different methods for getting there. And so that caused a few issues for people transferring to different divisions for workloads and things like that. But what that also led to was inconsistency in how we received information and how we transmitted that information back. And so across all of Alabama Power, we saw a lot of inconsistencies. And so with those inconsistencies, there was very few methods that we could come up with that was allowing us to document the job process that we needed in a concise and clear and efficient way. In particular, the job safety briefings and the meter installation documents. That's what those acronyms stand for. The meter installation documents document the installation of the meter for large industrial or commercial customers. So that loss of revenue could impact us severely. So we needed to make sure that we had a unified way of capturing that all across APC. So that was our primary method for approaching SEW early in the process.
Awesome, awesome. Next question I want you to just kind of speak to is, hang on. So given those challenges, given that you were facing in the multitude of solutions that are out there in the marketplace, why did you in the Alabama Power team choose SMW as your desired solution?
So there was several different aspects of why we chose SEW. So number one is we needed a solution that could help to standardize our process all across Alabama Power, both from sourcing to the middle of the process for the documentation from our crew work, to the end result. So we needed a solution all across APC. Secondly, we needed a user-friendly application for our field users, but that also would translate into the collection of the data for our engineers as well. So we had both aspects that we needed, but we needed a simple solution. That was primarily one of the reasons why we started with SEW. But what we found is we loved SEW because it was utility focused. At the time, it really understood what we needed from our standpoint. Through the development process, a lot of great questions were asked. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I lost the earbud. So we're hardcore, I guess. So we needed somebody that really understood our business. And so a lot of the other companies that were out there didn't really understand as a utility, we're unique in how we need to get things done. So they really understood, and then they were also able to configure what we needed, because Alabama Power does things different from other utilities across the United States. So, but they were able to meet our needs in that aspect.
Awesome. Okay, and then the next question is, how are you currently using SMW? So, what modules or what are some of the functions or features that you're using?
So essentially, the use case for us was a few different modules that we needed to take advantage of. Number one was we needed a work order process, and we needed it to integrate with our existing source system, which was incredible for us. That was a huge, big deal for us. So we were able to implement the work order process where the crews go out and they document the installation of assets by using the smart forms and to document their job safety briefings and their meter installations and things like that. But also we wanted to start working towards a one-stop shop for our line crews. We needed to have a single point of emphasis for our crews. And so we were able to implement the mobile library, which has all their specification books, their manuals, etc. So that's how we're currently using SMW, with plans to expand later.
Awesome. Okay, and then the next question: what are the business benefits being realized at Alabama Power from using SMW?
So some of this is really hard to quantify, but standardization across all of APC was really important for us. And not only across the different districts that we have, but also the sub districts, the headquarters inside of these. We needed to standardize all across all of APC. So that was huge. But then also, once the crews are able to see the value added in how they're able to be more efficient and more effective, instead of spending 3 hours on their paperwork, they're able to document their work process in as little as 10 to 15 minutes. We saw huge benefits from that. And then also going forward, kind of going to touch on some of our needs going forward, is we're able to see how that impacts other business units and how we can implement those with our existing processes to even make further strides in being more efficient, more effective.
Excellent. Okay, and finally, last question here. How will you use SMW into the future? What are your future plans at Alabama Power for SMW?
So we've been using SMW, as you know, Tony, for quite a while, since I believe 2016 or something like that. But what I think we started at version 2 or 4. I can't remember what it is, but now we're in version 6. So we're looking to take it the next step to version 10 to further have more information at our hands and more user-friendly applications and enhancements. And we're excited about this. Now we're excited to see our users interface with that as well, and other business units are seeing that, and they're really excited about how their business unit can be impacted as well. So with that, we have scheduling and dispatch for right now we're using SMW as long-term work. So that's our crew work, but also for our short-term work, so like service installations and things like that. So we're looking at getting the scheduling and dispatch, and then also looking at possibly being more transparent with our customer, as you just alluded to earlier in your presentation, Tony.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let me just say, Greg, I really appreciate, the work that you guys are doing there at Alabama Power, how you're leveraging SMW to do that. And as always, it's a pleasure to be a part of your journey to help you deliver value to your customers, to your workforce through our technology. So let me just say thank you to you and your team for leveraging our technology and giving us the opportunity to be that partner for you. And with that said, is there any last thought or two that you want to share with the audience? And then maybe we'll jump into Q&A.
I really just I'm grateful to see the thing that makes me happy is I was a field engineer for 12 years before moving to this role, and seeing my constituents out there, the people who I blood, sweat, and tears I shared with them, but see them happy about how this application is affecting their workload has been huge and tremendous for us. And then also the continuing support that we're getting from SEW's NPU. So thank you, Tony. I appreciate you coming on this show.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. And like I said, I really do appreciate the work that you guys are doing and how you're allowing us to have the opportunity to support you in all of this good work. So thank you again, Greg. Thank you for making time out of your very busy schedule to have this conversation with us. I'm sure those in attendance have benefited from what you've had to say and kind of what you're looking to do. And should there be any additional questions or any thoughts from anyone in attendance, we'll look forward to hearing from you. But that said, it's our pleasure to be able to be with you today. Thank you for making time out of your day to be with us, to hear us, and to listen to us. And we're excited about the prospects of perhaps working with all of you one day and having you have the benefit of having the remarkable digital platform that is Smart Mobile Workforce in your hands, supporting your business. So I'll look forward one day, hopefully, to having this conversation with all of you and on a much larger and broader scale. So everyone, thank you. Have a safe rest of your day, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you.